Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you we're all over social media, Facebook, Blue Sky, X, and of course our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe. We appreciate you. All right, Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney are reportedly at odds. According to the insider who spoke with the Daily Mail, Zendaya is refusing to do press with her Euphoria co-star for the upcoming third season, with the feud seemingly stemming from politics. Sweeney, who is reportedly a registered Republican, called called it surreal that Trump shouted her out after starring in an American Eagle ad, some called racist. Meanwhile, Zendaya has been outspoken against Trump. The insider said that there's no wonder why Zendaya is refusing to do it. It's a difficult position for her, Zendaya, to be in because if she even stands next to Sydney on the red carpet, it can be read as her excusing Sydney's views on Trump and her refusal to apologize for the racist ad. And with the new season of Euphoria set to premiere in spring of next year, it will be interesting to see how the press tour plays out. So you remember that she did the American Eagle ad, Sydney Sweeney, and she talked about how she has good genes. And a lot of people were saying because she's white, blonde hair, etc. And Trump, he retweeted it out in favor of her. I saw a recent interview where Sydney Sweeney was asked about it and would she apologize for the ad, and she said no. She let it work for speaks for itself. And so now they're saying this Zendaya and her are kind of at odds because of this, and they have the new hit show coming out. Brittany, do you think there's something to this? And could you work with someone that you disagree with that you feel like has done stuff that's racist?
Oh, okay, so that's two different things. That's two different loaded questions. Could I work with somebody that okay, yeah. I had to think about it. I feel like I work with people that are racist in corporate. Like just because we don't always it's microaggression, it's discriminate. I feel like it's not necessarily always blatant and in your face.
Right.
But yeah, I still have to show up and get my paycheck and do my job. So yes, I can work with people that have different beliefs than me, and I can work with people that I may or may not like. I have done it in the past, and I can continue to do it. However, like I think that, like I said, politics have become so polarized that it does evoke really strong emotions when you are siding on one thing over the other. And so I definitely understand that I'm not a public figure. So I might work in a corporate office, but they might not know who I'm working with that might have bias or other beliefs than mine. However, Zendaya is a public figure with a brand and a reputation that I do not have, and I can understand how aligning herself with somebody can misalign her brand.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Linnea, what are your thoughts? They have this hit show. I know people been waiting for season three to come out, and now we're on the brink of it. Today, said, I'm not campaigning with her. What are your thoughts?
I don't think that makes them at odds. I think that just makes um Zendaya understand what you're not going to do is have the opportunity to say, "Look, I'm with a black.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're standing next to each other. We work together." Having not come, but having left a job where I dealt with being bullied, I dealt with microaggression, I dealt with racism, being the only black woman um, at that job and making the decision that I made to leave after 10 years. I understand the dynamic of um, just because I work with you does not mean I have to be friends with you. Mm-hmm. I come here to get a paycheck. We are not friends. I do my work and then I'm going home because when I leave out that door, I'm leaving you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we I think we all have experienced that in some form of fashion going to work. We know who those people are, the ones who make it known. And then it's the ones that don't make it known that perpetrate the fraud that we have to be concerned about. The ones that are having those secret meetings and sending those emails but then they'll want to be all up in your face and those things. So I think that for Zendaya, her making a decision to, you're not going to utilize me to make yourself look redeeming in any type of way. We ain't beefing, but pardon my French, I'm just not fucking with you like that.
Right. And Chick, I remember when this ad when it came out, the American Eagle ad came out, that they even brought Beyonce in there saying how Sydney Sweeney she's original, a true blonde, and she does have good genes. When she's not blonde, she's brunette. People show pictures, but I think that it used to be a time where it didn't, of course, people didn't agree politically, Republican versus Democrat, but I think with MAGA is brought in division and hate and racism and all the isms. What are your thoughts on Zendaya allegedly saying, I'm not going to publicly promote this season with you?
I like the word allegedly because we don't know.
Right.
But from my own point of view, I thought that there might be tension between them because Euphoria is a vehicle of course, it's a vehicle for everybody involved with the show.
Right.
But Zendaya's name is number one on the call sheet
because
she's the star of the show.
Right.
Sydney Sweeney was a supporting actress, or is a supporting actress of that show. However, Sydney Sweeney has done a lot of work outside of Euphoria to build her cachet and her reputation as an actress in the industry. And she's getting a lot of buzz by different roles that she's doing, which now puts her in a different kind of spotlight coming back to Euphoria.
Right.
And I think that it's more so a fight for popularity on the show. And she may be in renegotiations with the company to, for more money. And that's kind of sort of what happens. And it's bleeding over into other areas as, the commercials. And of course, now Trump's supporting her by, retweeting the commercial ad and all that stuff. And Zendaya is playing chess. I'm not going to help you rise on my dime. You won't use me to be, this American figure, this well-rounded entity that they're trying to create, but with me by your side. And I applaud her for standing 10 toes down on her blackness and having a spine when it comes to what she wants to do with her image and her likeness and her reputation as it relates to her career.
Yep, I agree.
And then if you notice, Zendaya don't align to much BS. She be with her man, she get her coin, and she live a very discreet life. She pop in, she pop out. And I like that about her. She do not align to that. So to Chike's point, like, we don't know why they don't click, but it could be as something as simple as, like, you doing one thing and over here, and that ain't what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just don't sign up for a lot of BS.
Right.
She shows up and goes to work.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Raven Simone is sharing how she personally separates Bill Cosby's cultural impact from the allegations against him. During a conversation on the Hate to Break It to You podcast, she said she keeps Cosby's legacy on television and the allegations against him in two different places in her mind. Raven explained that the Cosby Show changed American TV and opened doors for Black families to be portrayed in a different light, while also acknowledging the serious accusations Cosby has faced. She said, separate the creator from the creation. The creation changed America, changed television. I don't ignore the allegations. That's his personal life, but both truths can exist at once. Raven played Olivia Kendall on The Cosby Show from 1989 to 1992 during the height of the show's success. Cosby later faced multiple sexual assault allegations and was convicted in 2018 before the conviction was overturned in 2021. So, do you think that it's possible to separate an artist from their work, or once the person is tarnished, is the legacy tarnished as well? I'll start with you, Chike.
Wow. There used to be a point in time when you could do that, but now with the way the world is, you can't. And it's on an individual basis, on a personal basis. I'm talking about as society. Yeah, it's easy for people to cancel someone, but on a personal, individual basis, you can't deny what the man contributed to the world, not just our country, not just black people, but the world.
Mhm.
Um, and not just with the Cosby Show, with the different world. It's the way we think, our thirst for education. We can go all the way back to Fat Albert.
Mhm.
I mean, the man's contributions of art also educated. You can never take that away from him, regardless of what he's done. And I wholeheartedly agree with Raven Simone.
Yeah.
His legacy is what it is.
Linnea?
I mean, absolutely. She already said that's his personal business. Me watching the Cosby Show, watching Fat Albert, watching A Different World. When I look at those shows, we know that he was the genesis of those shows, but it wasn't because of him that I watched. It was because of all the people that were involved that looked like me. And what people don't understand is it's amazing. And Chike mentioned this earlier in regards to, that black text. When you have this, and the perfect example is the father from Seventh Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all remember that show.
Yeah.
And what he was charged with, what he went to jail for, and Seventh Heaven still was able to get syndicated.
Mm-hmm.
When all this went down with Bill Cosby, they didn't even want to syndicate the Cosby Show. That take him out of it. There's a whole bunch of people that gotta eat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of people that gotta eat, not just him. And that's the part that hurts. Even though we get to revisit things now. A Different World is now on Netflix, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about to come back.
And it's about to come back with a newer generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the Cosby Show was on either BET or TV One or whatever. But those things are so important to us. And I can't negate any of that because of what that man did. Whatever happened, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened didn't happen. It was overturned. The conviction was overturned. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I tell you what, I'm watching the Cosby Show. I'm watching A Different World because I want to support the other people that are attached to it. That's all that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have families. And all these other shows are syndicated and making money and cutting checks. And it be us, and we're hurting. We are hurting.
Yeah. And you think about it, like the other characters, like you both mentioned, Malcolm Jamal Warner, when he passed away, his legacy is with the Cosby Show. So is his legacy erased because of the actions of Bill? You know what I mean? So I see.
Well, look, I'm sorry. Look at Pee Wee Herman. Didn't they just do a big documentary send off in memoriam of him?
Yeah.
And wasn't he a lewd human being at one point in time?
Yeah.
Brittany,
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I ain't canceling the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
I mean, like she said, I'm not canceling the Cosby Show. I'm not canceling R. Kelly's legacy. I'm not canceling. I know who else y'all got an issue with. Kurt Franklin, he can cuss out whoever he want to cuss out. I'm not canceling his gospel music. You know what I'm saying? It's just like she said, people are flawed. We are flawed individuals. It does not take away from the legacy or the mark that they have made in history. And I can enjoy their work and still be like, I don't need to go to a Bill Cosby party. I don't need to go and you know what I'm saying? I could do those. You could separate them from their work. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Our last story. So studies show that higher earning women weigh emotional cost of relationships more heavily than social pressures to be partnered. Women who earn more than $100,000 a year are increasingly choosing to stay single rather than settle in a that brings stress, emotional labor, or instability. Researchers say that the shift isn't about women not needing a man, it's more about choosing emotional peace and independence over relationships that don't add value. Hashtag peace over pressure, hashtag soft life. For many, being single provides control over their time, space, finances, and nervous system. They're not avoiding love, they're avoiding chaos, overgiving, and being placed in a caretaker role. The study also noted that when women do choose relationships, they prioritize emotional maturity, communication, psychological safety over financial support or status. Now, do you feel like dating today requires you to sacrifice your peace? Brittany.
Why me first? It is piss in a dating pool. Dating is garbage. People out here looking for a come up. Everybody's selfish and transactional. Absolutely. And it is just annoying in my preference. However, I know plenty of successful women that still desire to share their life with somebody else. I think that the more healed you become, the less you're willing to put up with things. Like the more you learn more about yourself, the more healed you become, the more you have to lose. Like when we go and we doing all these things without, I mean, we're gaining things and we're afraid to lose things by attaching ourselves to the wrong person. I do see that happening. I don't necessarily agree with what they're saying, but I do understand where there are men out here, and I said that ego, that are a little bit more insecure around highly successful women that might make more money than them or already have a house purchased in their name and they don't want to move in because you bought that house before me. You know what I'm saying? So I see a few other things at play other than just maintaining somebody's peace. But I do know a lot of successful women that are still up in age and looking to share their life with somebody.
Yeah, it's interesting because I go live often on TikTok and we talk about relationships, and there are a lot of women that are successful that are more picky or they're enjoy because they enjoy the life they've created, and so it takes a lot to for someone to break into that. You know what I mean? For them to open up to that. But Linnea, I know you're not single, but what are your thoughts on this?
Well, damn, Steve, I was single at one point. Before I was in the relation, before I got into the relationship that I'm in now, I was single for 10 years.
Okay.
And that was by choice.
Yeah.
And to Brittany's point, it's rancid pee in the pool. It's rancid. It's like acid. And
I think God got more men in the back somewhere.
Child.
Mine got lost.
Yeah.
I need him to do the shipping label or something. Mine got lost and it's at the wrong address. That's what I'm confused.
Listen, I had a conversation with the Lord a long time. Hey, listen here, sir. I'm good. These people out here crazy. And I don't have the time nor the patience to deal with this type of foolishness. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm good. And when I said I was good, I said, Lord, I just want to go ahead and travel. I'm gonna work, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And that's it. I wasn't seeing nobody. Listen, I wasn't seeing nobody. I wasn't answering no texts and no calls. Because the worst thing you could do to me is WYD. That grinds my gears. You can't have an intelligent conversation. Don't be texting me, Grand Rising Queen.
Well, I hate that.
Hear that shit. Listen, I'm telling you, me and God had that conversation and I was good. And I was like, Lord, if you want me to be an international hoe, this is what's gonna happen because these dudes out here is crazy.
Don't say no motherfucking Bible scriptures because I know it's all a lie. It's a scam. They don't even believe in God.
Well, Jesus brought me into. I done heard it all, and I was over it, and I was like, I cut it. But you know what's funny? When you do that, whether you're a man or a woman, when you intentionally decide to focus on you, baby, that you will eliminate a lot of dudes. And I know one of the things that dudes hated that I would ask them, do you have a wife, a girlfriend, a chick who think that she your girlfriend? a crazy baby mama? Do you have, and they would be like, huh? See, huh? Ain't the right answer, sir. So we not even going, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you because Chike said, I done been through some stuff.
Yeah.
And dealing with some foolishness. But I'm good at cutting stuff off because he'll tell you that too. I will cut somebody off so quick with the quickness and be done. Like never I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Keep fucking around with me if you want to.
To Lanier's point, I met a guy and I was like, what did you learn from your last relationship? Like, what did you learn? Like, what is one thing you learned that you did wrong? He said, I don't know, Dr. Phil. Damn. Like, you know what? I'm done. I can't. I can't even ask you like deep questions. You want me to ask what your favorite color is? I'm not doing. I can't. I can't. Well, it's just no. It's not. I'm not meant for the streets at all.
What's always wrong when everyone else, everyone else was the problem. Everyone was the problem, and you.
Oh, I hate that.
That was always the word. Chike, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, as you were talking and as you were bringing this question forth, all I could think about is what women, because I think it's different with different types of women. Meaning, a Caucasian woman is not going to have the same experience as a Black woman, who's not going to have the same experience as a Latin woman. Right. So I would like to know the breakdown of what these women are experiencing from their own demographic. Because I think it's different. That's where my mind is.
That makes
because
sense.
I think different women have different struggles.
Lanier?
Can I just point out, back in the day, these women were groomed and reared to become a missus.
To go to college to meet a husband.
Like you were born and raised to become a missus. Period. And that's not a Black woman's pathology. That's not what we were taught. That's not how we were reared. And I mean, it was
to survive.
We were reared to survive, and that was done intentionally. And because we've learned along with Black men how to navigate and survive this foolishness. People are sitting somewhere wondering like how. Because we have no other choice.
Yeah.
Like we have no other choice because y'all wouldn't be able to do and survive what we have gone through and what we continue to go through. Period.
Yep.
And to Chike's point, I have never dated outside my race. So yes, I am only talking about what I have experienced in my skin.
All right. Well, listen, ladies, and Chike, I'll see movie views. Ladies, thank you so much. And we'll be right back with movie views.